You forget many things in life, but you never forget kindness.
It's great to see both of you. Helen, I have to start with you. It's an individual question. You have won so many awards in your amazing career, but I believe you are short a Grammy to have the EGOT. And I'm just curious, how much does it mean to actually try to get one of those? And do Marc and I need to make any phone calls to any musicians for a collaboration?
Well, if I was truly shameless, I guess I would be pursuing a Grammy. Unfortunately, I absolutely cannot sing. I have no musical ability whatsoever. So it would have to be a spoken word thing that I would do. But actually, I think one of a piece of Sherlock Holmes drama that I did last year, I think has been nominated for a Grammy. So who knows? Maybe it's in my destiny.
If I could vote, I would vote for you. I really hope that happened.
Yeah, well, that would be funny.
Maybe we might do a musical together.
One of the things, though, I've wondered this for so many years. I thought that The Princess Bride was so brilliant with the way it brings you in and out of the story. And I've wondered why more movies don't do that until I see Whitebird. And you guys smartly, and I think it's in the book, it's obviously in the graphic novel, but like talk a little bit about the way that you get to be pulled in with the story like this. And it sort of, I think, will help younger audiences get invested in the story.
Yeah, I feel it was very smart how R.J. Palacio in the graphic novel and in the book sort of started with the grandmère and sort of brought in, she's taking the bully from Wonder, from her book Wonder and from the movie Wonder, and uses him here in a redemptive way. And he comes home and he meets grandmère, and ultimately the grandmère shares her life with her grandchild. And it ends up with this incredible speech at the end of the movie Helen gives, which is sort of this bookend. And I feel like because of that structure, you have then the freedom to go into this love story, of this teenage love story, and then go into this magic realism and really explore sort of the dark and the light of these two young lives and the world that surrounds them.
One of the things about this film is that it both educates and entertains. And movies like this, I just love supporting, because we all take for granted that every young people know all these stories, but they don't. And hopefully, and can you sort of talk about that this is one of those rare films that educates and entertains?
Yes, and moves, and you go on a wonderful emotional journey. Even taking the very necessary history lesson out of it, you're still left with something really wonderful to watch, and a journey that you're taken through in a magical way by Marc. But I absolutely agree with you. And it was one of the reasons that I really wanted to be a part of the film, was that all-important history lesson of to a younger generation. And as we get further and further from that terrible time in human history, people do forget. They forget, and they take steps down the same road. They're going down the same road and not understanding what actually is at the end of that road, what they are marching towards. So it's important, so important to not remind, well, yes, but show the young.
100%. You can turn on the news now and see, but that's a whole nother thing. Marc, one of the things I wanted to touch on is that you shot the exteriors with film and interiors with digital cameras. Can you talk about why you did that and for the filmmaking?
I still love shooting on film, and I feel, when I shoot on film, especially day exteriors, I feel that it gives me a quality that is somehow very subtle way, very more emotional, has more warmth. I'm using digital interior because I need less lights. So, if I'm on a tighter budget and shoot in tighter spaces, which often we use real locations here, I need less lights. And then I can sort of balance in the final product. I can sort of add grain to the digital cameras and balance it to the exterior of the film I'm using outside.
Helen, I'm just about out of time. I would like to ask you another individual question, if you don't mind. I'm really excited for the Thursday Murder Club, and I wanted to know what you can tease about that, especially working with that great cast, and also 1923 season 2.
Oh, well, I know. I've been blessed. I mean, I've been blessed by working with the wonderful young cast of Whitebird, wonderful young actors. But I'm also been very blessed working with actors of my age group, Harrison, the great Harrison Ford, Pierce Brosnan, Sir Ben Kingsley, a wonderful British actress called Celia Imrie, who are all in the Thursday Murder Club. And, we had just a marvelous time because we were all of an equal sort of, we'd all worked together over the years. So it was a great sort of coming together of professionals. Yes, it was really fun. And funnily enough, there is a sort of a connection. I've been thinking today between Whitebird and 1920 and Thursday Murder Club, and indeed 1923, is that, and now I'm getting into that world of older people. I'm definitely in that world, is just to remember that older people have had a life. They've had a complicated, interesting, passionate life, demanding, difficult, wonderful life, just the way you young people are having right now. And just constantly remind people, if you look at an old person's face, I know it's a simple thing to say, but I think we sort of, old. Okay, we're not really interested in you anymore. But actually, there are these amazing lives that these people have lived.
That's what I love actually about Whitebird, that the grandmère is telling her story and sharing her story with her grandchild. And when I go look back at my grandmother, when I was young, I only listened like with 1 ear, and I wish I would have listened more.
Absolutely.
because as you just said, people who have been here on this earth longer had more experience, had more insights, and it's beautiful to hear their stories and share them with the younger generation.
On that note, I need to stop. Seriously, congrats on the movie. I really hope a lot of people watch it.
Thank
you for your time.
Thanks, Steve.